Hello, in this video, we're going to begin covering finance. And so I'm going to cover two kinds of interest that are used in finance. Simple interest and compound interest. So let's take a look. Here we go. So simple interest. The way I'm going to explain this is you got a friend. He needs to borrow $300 for rent. His bum's not paying his rent. But if you give him $300, he says, I will give you 3% interest back, 3% on that $300. So how much does he owe you the next month? So of course, he's going to owe you the $300 back, but he's going to owe you the interest on that $300. So the interest would be 3% of $300. So that's $9 interest he owes you. So he owes you $309. Okay, not a bad deal. You make a little bit of money. So this is what simple interest, simple one-time interest is. He just paid you interest once on one month. And so the way we calculated this was the initial value that you either paid or are depositing into a bank account. And then P naught times R is your interest rate. And notice, again, as before, we got the P naught in both sides. We can factor that out to P naught. If we factor P naught from this term, that's just 1. And P naught from this term is R. So notice these are the same thing. So that's simple one-time interest. Okay. What if he says, I can't pay you the second month, but I'll pay you another 3% on the original $300. So after the second month, you will owe him $309. He will owe you back $309 plus the interest on the original amount. So that would be $309 plus, again, 3% interest on the original amount. So it's $309 plus another $9. Okay, so if he continues doing this every month, he's just going to pay you $9 more each month. This is what simple interest over time is. So if we consider T to be each time period, in this case, it was a month. This equation would be the amount he owes you is P naught plus the interest. And that interest ends up being P naught times the interest rate. And for however many months, if it's 1 month, we just pay this. If it's 2 months, we put 2. If it's 3 months, we put 3. So if it's T months, we put T. So that's how we can look at that formula. And again, if we want to simplify it, we can write it like this. So, here's a technical definition. So this interest rate R, as a decimal, it's called the annual percentage rate. Often it's listed as an annual rate. So if we're paying 6% annually, this is interesting, 6% annually means you're paying monthly 1/12 of that. So 6% divided by 12, you're paying 1/12 of that interest each month. So that means you're paying a monthly rate of, 0.5%. Okay. What else? Oh, in this case, we were paying 3% monthly. What is the annual percentage rate? APR. Since you're paying this monthly, that means over the course of a year, you're paying 12 months interest. So 3% times 12. So you're actually getting a 36% interest rate from your friend, which is pretty good. Okay, simple interest. So other examples would be maybe there's quarterly interest rate. So if you have 4% quarterly interest rate, that means there'd be 4 times of collecting 1% interest. Okay. So of note, this simple interest formula, what kind of formula do you think it is? Linear, exponential, quadratic? Let's use the example we were doing before, where P naught was 300, R was 3%, so 0.03 as a decimal. So if we write this equation, 300, 1 plus 0.03t, if that's our equation, it's not entirely clear what kind of formula it is, but if you write it like this again, if you multiply it out, 300 times 0.03 was $9 interest per month. Notice this is mx plus b. It's a linear equation. 9 is your slope, b is your intercept, and t is your independent variable. So here's your quiz question 8, and let's cover compound interest in this video as well. So same situation, you got your friend who's being a bum, he's not paying his rent. After the first month, he owes you $309 and says, I can't pay it. Okay, you're getting smarter. You say, no, I'm not going to collect interest on that original amount. Interest before we collected interest on the $300. Okay, that was before. Okay, now you're going to say, no, I want interest on whatever you owe me. So after the first month, he's going to owe you $309 from the previous month, plus interest on not 300, but 309. So this is the interest from the second month. Okay, so instead of 318 was before we did, okay, before was 309 plus another $9. 318. No. You're gonna say, you gotta pay me interest on what you owe me. So instead it's 318.27 is what that comes out to be. It's a little bit more. Okay, 27 cents, what gives? Okay, we'll see. We'll see how much this gives. How can we find out how much your friend owes you after a year of not paying back his original loan of $300? Okay, so this situation where you're paying interest on everything you owe, on whatever you owe, that leads to compound interest. You're paying interest not only on the $300, but you're also paying interest on the $9. So let's look at this formula. Trying to think how we go. Okay, yeah. So this formula, P naught is the original amount. R over K is like your interest rate per period that he is compounding, per period that you're getting more interest added. Okay, so this is called compounding period. Okay, R is your APR, your annual interest rate, annual percentage rate as a decimal. And K is the number of periods per year that you're getting interest. Okay. So we talked about before, actually with 3% interest per month, that meant it was times 12, 36% APR. So what this formula looks like is 300 times 1 plus 36 over 12, 0.36 over 12 to the 12 times n, which is your time after n years, or n, yeah, after n years. Okay, so let's look. That's how much he owes you after n years. So what does he owe you after 1 year? Let's just say he gets his act together after 1 year and says, okay, I need to repay. So we would just put in P1 here, 300 times 1 plus 0.36 divided by 12 was the 3% interest he's paying per month for 1 year. This 12 times 1 makes it so there's 12 times of doing an exponent, 12 compounding periods. Okay, so let's do that in Desmos, just so you can see again what Desmos looks like. So 300 is an additional value, 1 plus, it was 0.36 divided by 12. Oh, notice that number, 309. That was how much you got after 1 year. But if we're no longer multiplying times 12, remember that was the amount he owes you after a year. We're doing an exponent of 12. Ooh, that starts to become a little different. So we would round this to the nearest cent since we're talking about money. So 427.83. Is how much he owes you after 1 year if we're doing compound interest. Check it out from before. Do we do it for 1 year? Oh, if we're going to do it for 1 year, it would be with simple interest, it'd be 1 plus 0.03 times 12, which I showed you before. Got a little error here. Wait. Okay, so you made a little more money off your friend, a little bit more. And again, it may not seem like a whole lot, but the difference of compound interest is that it's an exponential formula. This makes a big difference over long periods of time. You make lots more money if you're using compound interest. So that's kind of the takeaway. I'll give you one more problem to practice on for the quiz, and we will see you in class on this. See you next time.